Hey YouTube, so I just wanted to show you all this 2003 Mercedes-Benz C240 Wagon. Again, this is another review of a W203 Generation C-Class. Well, at least for the wagon they were called S203. Now the wagon was available, at least in the US, from 2001 all the way up to 2005, and they only offered V6 engines and automatic transmissions. There's the C240, like this one, and the C320, which offered a larger V6 engine. There weren't many C-Class wagons produced. You won't find many C-Class wagons out there, so consider this a very, very rare car, and nowhere near as common as the E46 3 Series wagons were. In my opinion, these were one of the most handsome wagons you could get back in the day. They don't look like those big blocky behemoths the American manufacturers produced prior to the 90s. Versus the 2005 C230 Kompressor sedan I reviewed recently, there really is little to no difference in terms of the length of the car. Now, interior dimensions are for the most part the same aside from the cargo area and 60-40 split seating in the second row. All that cleared up, this car really does offer a lot of utility, not too far off from a mid-size sport utility vehicle. Now, even though this is a wagon, there's little to no compromise to the car's handling versus the sedan. This one is rear-wheel drive, and I mention that because there was an all-wheel drive 4MATIC model available. Now, the W203 was produced during a horrible era for Mercedes, specifically in terms of quality, reliability, fit-finish issues. It was just horrible. Interiors usually tend to hold up terribly. This example has held up quite well. This is a two-owner car. Everything is soft to the touch in the door panel. You can see here the door handle is not broken, which is a common thing for the W203, but it is peeling and fading here somewhat. All four windows have auto up and down functions. This is the Mercedes Tex material, so this isn't leather. Possibly the inserts are. It is perforated. The seats are not fully powered. The backrest is powered, and as is the seat height. But to tilt the front section of the seat, you need to crank away over here, or to move it back and forth, pull this guy, just like in the 2005 C230 I reviewed recently. This time we heard a V6 engine, specifically a 2.6 liter dual overhead cam V6 known as the M112. This was Mercedes' first attempt at making V6 engines, and it ended up being probably one of their most reliable V6 engine. It's a smooth runner otherwise. Really don't need to go too in depth with this interior, as there is the 2005 C230 that I reviewed recently. I had a 2001 C240 sedan, and it had a 6-speed manual. Most Mercedes have automatics. So it was a unicorn itself. Never made a review of it, unfortunately. Now, for 2003, you can also get a C320, and I know 203s were also offered in C36 form, which was a supercharged V6, and a C55, which had a 5.4 liter V8. Mercedes did many interesting things with the W203 generations. Aside from wagons and sedans, there was also a two-door coupe/hatchback. You don't see many of those either. As you can see, this interior is in very good condition. Everything is soft to the touch. The glove box in this one is damped as opposed to the 2005, which I don't know why was damped, or maybe it just wasn't connected. You can see the CD changer in there. This one has the heated seats, tow sensor, door locks, hazards, rear wiper, electronics/traction control. The radio does have cassette. The screen does tip down, and you can throw your cassettes in there. And you saw the CD changer in the glove box. Pouch down over to the climate control. Obviously it's very different, older looking design. Shifter remains the same for the most part, the manual shift mode right there. The winter and sport mode. The 2005 it was comfort and sport mode, but they both have the same functions. Winter or comfort mode essentially just makes the car take off in second gear. The wood finish is in great shape. I think this is a non-smoker. Yeah, fairly clean. And the cup holder also isn't broken. Very rare. Center console armrest works, not broken. And this is a chilled compartment here. The AC flows into the back vents. Very nifty if you want to keep drinks, fruits, and whatnot fresh. The lid is height adjustable. And there is a secondary level as well. You can see by the latches right there. Auto dimming rearview mirror, home link garage door opener. Both sun visors have a mirror and vanity light. The sunroof. Now the steering wheel, clearly it's different, an older design. They changed it up in 2005 and it's evident in the 2005 C230 Kompressor review I made recently. The buttons are very different as opposed to a bunch of individual plastic buttons. We have massive rubbery keypads here. All perform the same functions. These are the radio controls, and this is to navigate along the page here in this instrument cluster, where you'll find various different pages here, such as distance to empty, oil level, temperature, and whatnot, and control other aspects of the car. I actually kind of like this better. It has a more natural, softer feel to it as opposed to the 2005 refresh. The steering wheel, while thick, doesn't have additional side bolsterings here. This was touted as a luxury car, not a sports car, so you won't find that kind of thing here. Instrument cluster is also of an older design. This look went up to 2004, changed in 2005, again is evident in the 2005. I actually kind of like this better because it's simplistic and minimalist looking. It's not busy and it doesn't look like every other speedometer. Plus I like how the gauges or the needles have more of a floating look to them as opposed to the 2005 where you see absolutely everything, and in my opinion adds a more inexpensive look. This has a larger information display, which I like. The 2005 has a tiny little slit in the middle of the instrument clusters, and once you pull the lever to adjust the steering wheel, it changes color, which I think is cool. It does tilt and telescope, like so. Cruise control is in the same place it's always been. The wipers, the first setting is for the rain sensing wipers. All the other speeds are just medium and high. Headlights, pull once for front fogs, pull a second time for rear fogs, and it has an auto function. Sorry if it got blurry there. And the power mirrors. Materials carry over back here. Nothing's changed. Back seat is identical to the sedan. I don't think there's any difference in dimensions back here. Armrest with the cup holder. This is a better cup holder than what's available up front. And these seats do fold down, but I can't do so right now because it's attached to the cargo cover right here. Again, comfort is identical to the sedan. I don't feel any difference to the 2005 C230 Kompressor I reviewed recently. We have the air vents back here so you won't melt, and a tray of some sort. The seat is adjusted a bit further back than I wished. Again, legroom is not a highlight for the W203, at least when it comes to the back seat. Seats do fold down. But the great thing about the wagon is all the utility that's offered here. It's partition. Just to keep pets away, or if you're pissed off at your boyfriend or girlfriend and you want to throw them back here, this is the way to keep them away from you and not climbing over and beating on you and whatnot. And there's a spare tire under here somewhere. There you go. And the cargo cover has an interesting way of working here. Now, close it like so, but to retract it, just push it down and it goes back. Cargo nets that attach side to side, power outlet, and there's a compartment in here where you'll find the first aid kit and tools. Now, this generation V6 is known as the M112. It is Mercedes' first attempt at V6 engines, and somehow it ended up being one of their best. The successor was not very reliable, a lot of timing related issues, and their waterfalls, they love to cry oil, just oil leaks everywhere. Each cylinder has 2 spark plugs, so this does have 12 spark plugs total, 3 valve per cylinder setup, meaning 18 valves. It's a very smooth engine. It's a 4K rev limit. Now the 2001 C240 that I had, the stick shift one, I thoroughly enjoyed that car. That engine sounded great when you topped it out. So anyways guys, I just wanted to give you a quick look at this car. Sorry that I didn't fit in a test drive, but overall the mannerisms are identical to the sedan, so if you want to see my impressions of how the W203 rides, just refer to my 2005 C230 Kompressor review. So anyways YouTube, thanks for watching and hope you all enjoyed this tour.